Well, 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 look at you. Look at you. Do you remember when we first put out our videos and it was just this fun little thing to do, make some sourdough bread and have a good time, and here are some tips. And since that time, the crazy pandemic happened and people ran out of yeast. And everybody in the world was trying to find out, how do you make sourdough bread? But you good people who already subscribed and were already a part of the family, you sat back with confidence, knowing that you had it all figured out and that sourdough bread was gonna be no problem for you. When the rest of the world was freaking out over dry yeast, we had sourdough starter. And we still do. How exciting. I hope you're doing well. You look like you're doing great. Congratulations. And thank you so much for sending all of the pictures. It was really pretty amazing. I mean, every single day, still to this point on social media, I get pictures of people attempting bread, trying bread, their successes, their failures. I'm proud of you. And it's very cool that these videos actually helped. That aside, now that we're rocking and rolling and we know how to make sourdough bread, let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's make some pretzels. I mean, why not? Pretzels are fun. Pretzels are delicious. They're not that difficult to make either. It's not like the baking the bread where we've got to have hours and hours and 12 hours of proofing. You need your sourdough starter. You need a big ass bowl. You need some baking soda. You need some oil, some regular salt. You need some sugar, some big chunky salt, and some flour. There you go. And it's a good thing to do when you have you've baked bread and you have some sourdough starter left over. You're gonna need about 2 cups. It's a hefty amount. It's not like making waffles, which we'll get into also. But yeah, let's make some pretzels. This is a good thing. It's impressive. When you do it, people are gonna be like, oh man, you're the coolest. Oh, also, if anyone in your house has made cookies, keep those on hand because they're good to eat while you're baking pretzels. All right, let's make some pretzels. Now, it's pretty easy. Like I said, it's not so bad. It's fun. We need 2 cups. 2 cups. Now this is something to think about. This recipe, I know I've talked a lot about weights and weighing and being accurate that way. This recipe goes by cup. It's gonna be like 3 cups of flour and it's 2 cups of starter. We're just gonna go with it. They know best. Are we crooked? Okay. 2 cups of starter. Boop-a-doop-boop-a-doop. 2 cups of starter. Look at that. Ah, it's so gooey. It's such gooey fun. 2 cups of starter. Very easy. Then we're going to add first oil. First we're gonna add some oil, then some salt, then some sugar, and then we'll get into the flour. 2 tablespoons of oil. Sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt, and you mix all that up, and then it looks like this. It'd be easier if you were here, Maya. We'll get back. Don't you worry. We will do it. Now, you add the flour a cup at a time. Not all at once, kids. We're gonna move to hands any second now. So you gotta get this all together. All right, right, that's it for you, spoon. You're done. All right. Second cup of flour, 2 out of 3. You want to get it all in there, incorporated in here. Half a cup of water. Yeah, I knew something was missing. It wasn't really soaking up. Bum, 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 bum. Last cup of flour, that's 3 cups. 3 cups of flour for our pretzels. Whoops. Whoops. You want to get this all incorporated. And then we're going to be kneading. All the bread I've done so far with you has been a no-knead situation. This one we're going to knead. All right, get as much in it as we can, and then we're going to put it out onto this surface. We're going to have to dump this out. So we got most of it in. Most of it's incorporated, but you can still see there's a lot of dryness out there still. Sometimes put a little on your hands is all you need. So you want this to go, you want this to be as smooth and satiny as you can get it. So it takes a little doing, and it'll pick up the flour along the way. So just with the heel of your hand, you keep going back and forth, and you start going to work on it. It's usually like 5 minutes or so. We'll time lapse it, kids, don't worry, we're not gonna drive you crazy. The cool thing about this is it actually gives you a sense that you're making something different. If you've been making this bread and it's a no-knead situation, it's nice to actually get your hands on this dough and have it turn into something a little different. It's already getting satiny. You can already feel it getting to the smooth exterior. Yeah, this is about 5 minutes. And we've got a different consistency than any of the other things we've made. All right, look at that. It's got a nice satiny outside. It's got a nice feel to it. It's nice and pliable. It's good stuff. The next steps are we're gonna roll this into a log. We're gonna cut it into about 15 different pieces. We're gonna roll those into balls, make those balls into strands, and make those into pretzels. Yeah, and then it will proof for about an hour. You know, have you ever gotten a bag of pretzels and every pretzel's been perfect? No. Don't expect that now either. Let's get to work. I like to roll it out into this little bit of a log. If we can get 15 out of this, it'd be pretty great. So that's 10. Some of these are gonna be big. And I like to just roll it. I don't have much of flour on the surface, so it can grab. Same way when you're shaping the bread. Some cool things to do 2 hands, right? Not bad. It's fun to think as you're doing this that you're making pretzels. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it is satisfying. It's so cool that from this sourdough starter, we make all this country bread from just adding sugar and salt and oil. I mean, we always have salt, but sugar and oil are the big changes. You add those in, and you get this totally different dough. That's pretty great, isn't it? Look at that. Come on, look at that. Pretty good. Now what we're gonna do next is make these into a pretzel shape. My, this is so much more work when I'm by myself. It's like, wait a minute. That bread and this pretzel both came from that sourdough starter over there? Yeah, we're the same family. We are related. You're like my cousin. Oh my God, really? Really? Look at you. No, look at you. What are you gonna be? I'm gonna be a pretzel. What's that? You don't know what a pretzel is? No, dude, I'm a piece of bread. Oh, right. Cousins are kind of weird. Yeah, we probably won't hang out that much. No, but nice to know you. Yeah, and we're kind of related. Okay, pretzel shaping time. You wanna roll it out. Now one thing, these always come out weird. Some friends said they look phallic. A cool thing to do is go a little thinner than you think. Good, a little thinner than you think. And also another thing, the end. Try to have the end not be so fat. Try and narrow that out. You'll see why when we shape it. And pretzel shape, right? And pretzel shape, right? Ta-da. This is all going to, it's all going to shrink up a little bit. It's going to be a little fatter than you think. You know, so you get as close as you can. Keeping those thin, it just kind of helps with the overall look of it. There's really no, you know, they're all going to taste the same. They're all going to taste amazing. It's, this is about aesthetics, making it look nice. My nephew, Henry, made some amazing looking pretzels, and he's a lot more thoughtful and takes his time with things a lot more than I do. So his looked amazing. He said they didn't taste that great, but who cares? Actually, you do care about that. And what I like to do is don't use a floured surface for this. Again, too much flour, it'll just roll on top of it. It won't grab. It needs to grab so you can manipulate it. And then at the end, you'll see we'll put some flour out because we don't want them to stick while they're proofing for an hour, which is what's going to happen after this. So yeah, you go a little thinner than you think because it's all going to come back into shape a little bit. See, this one is a little fatter. It's okay. It's all right. This isn't my strong suit. I'm more of a wing it, get it good enough, and I'm happy. I'm not too much with perfection. That's why I don't bake a lot of real precise things. I don't make beauty. I make delicious. And now we're gonna let it proof for an hour. So it's pretty warm now here in Los Angeles. It's pretty warm, so keep an eye on it, but it calls for an hour of proofing. We've beaten it up pretty good. We kneaded it, we shaped it, and now we're gonna let it rest. Night, night. Okay, kids, it's been an hour, and I'll be honest, I had a martini. I'm a pro, I know what I'm doing, but I had one. I also changed my shirt. Look at that. Yep, new shirts off of the special. Look at that. Very exciting. Okay, so they've been proofing for an hour. You can see they're a little fatter. They're all grown up and ready to go. It's a good thing we put down flour. They're nice and easy to pick up. And now we're gonna make them into pretzels. First, there's a boiling process. I did a thing. You're gonna take a pan, You're gonna put water in it. As much as you can. Eyeball it. You don't want to be over the edge, but you want enough in there that it can boil. Doopy doopy doo. Okay. Preheat the oven at 425. Get this boiling. And away we go. You boil the pretzels with baking soda in the water. Now, if you go to like a pretzel factory, they use lye and some other thing that was kind of nasty, and they told me not to ask questions about it and don't get too close. At home, baking soda. It's gonna fizz up, it's gonna be cool, you're gonna put it in there, you're gonna be like, oh, now it's turning into pretzels. Okay, so a 1/4 cup. You add a 1/4 cup of baking soda. It is going to fizz up, which is cool, but it does make a little debris. It does put a little spritz everywhere. So you literally get this going to a boil. Have a pan set up with your little racky rack and some paper towel. This is going to let it drain. And then also, at this stage, before we get there, have a little baking with some parchment paper. This is where they're ultimately going to go. While that boils and gets going, we've got our pretzels over there. We've got our water boiling over here. I like to use a chopstick. We're gonna put it in. It's gonna hang out on one side. Then you're gonna flip it with your slotted spatula and your stick or spoon, whatever. I just like using this. It's kind of like, you ever see people in bagel shops or making donuts and they have to flip? A lot of times you use the stick. It's pretty cool and easy to use. This is gonna come to a boil pretty fast. Okay, now, this process is very easy, very fun. You got yourself a little pretzel and you put it in your water. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, bum, bum. I do 3 at a time. It's not that long that they're on either side. It's not that long. You just put them in, let them float, flip it, flip it, flip it. You know, it's interesting. This is the same method that, it's very similar to doing bagels. They start to smell like bagels at this point. And then you slide them off onto a little paper towel and you let them drain. Fun city. Just boiled some pretzels and some baking soda. Ready to score them, put some salt on them, put them in the oven. We're really close. This has been a pretty easy process, right? You mix the dough by hand, you get it nice and silky, salty. 1 hour of proofing, which is short in bread world, especially using sourdough starter. You know, a lot of times you throw in some commercial yeast, it'll speed things along, but we didn't use any, and it rose really quickly. We're really in good shape. So now we get to do the fun part of scoring them with our lame, the same thing we score the bread with, and gives it this beautiful shape. We're going to slash the top of the pretzels. We're going to put some kosher salt on top, put them in the oven, and we're gonna have bagels. Can you tell I don't know where to look with this? I feel like looking here, but you're over here. I can't see myself over there. I can see myself over there. But when I see myself over here, I know I should be looking over here. Let's make some pretzels. So we take our pretzels, we put them on the parchment paper. Haha, there you go. Okay, where's our lame? You just want to slash them, you know, when you get pretzels, it's the same as the bread. It's like you want there to be a little release. You want the moisture to break out, have a place to go. Just kind of score it. It's just kind of fun. I'm not so uniform about it again. We've got our kosher salt. Be generous, be bold. You want to scrape the pretzel, the salt off. You don't want to be sitting there saying, why don't I have more salt? Into the oven we go, kids. This is it. We're there. We are there. Okay, 425. About 30 minutes, but I would keep an eye on these because they tend to seem undone for a while and then they're finished. So keep an eye on them. Let's take a look. Ooh. The smell is pretzel smell. It is pretzel smell. Oh, that's good. The exciting thing is it smells like pretzels. That's so great. I love the peak. I love the peak because it smells now in the house like pretzels. People will start emerging and coming out of their rooms and out from behind their laptops. And what is going on in here? What are you doing? Why does it smell like pretzels? It smells like pretzels. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Look at that. We have pretzels. Oh yeah. Oh, how bad would that be if I dumped them on the floor? These look so good. They smell so good. They're so hot. So hot. Good advice for you kids at home. Don't take it out of the oven and put it into your mouth. All right. I mean, come on. That was fun and it was easy. That was really great. Man, oh man. Look at this. Oh boy. Oh brother. Oh, look at the steam coming out of it still. A little mustard. Oh man, I don't know what it is. Something about the sourdough starter. The flavor that it puts in everything is just outstanding. You know how you get that earthy, lingering, joyful taste out of the bread? It's the equal thing with the pretzels, but you just have a different sensation. You got that light crust, a little extra salt on the outside, and then that big fluffiness inside. Look at this. Look at that fluffy, perfect inside. I mean, come on. Oh, I'm telling you, that sourdough starter is a miracle. You put it in waffles, pancakes, bread, pretzels, bagels. Game changer. You just use store-bought yeast and you make these, you're not gonna have the same thing. Thanks for coming along. You guys are amazing. You're doing great. Oh, what do you want to make next? It's up to you. Subscribe, tell your friends. Welcome to the family. I'll see you next time.